Hi, it's Pat Duckworth, the author of Hot Women Rock, How to Discover Your Midlife Entrepreneurial Mojo. And I just love speaking to other entrepreneurs so that I can learn from them and hopefully you learn something from them too. My guest today, I'm absolutely delighted to say, is a member of my mastermind group. And if you've read the book, you'll know how important that is to me. She's a social stylist at Scarletta Media and works with female entrepreneurs and petite business owners establish their own social style and living brand online. And I'm guessing that all of us could do with knowing a bit more about how to do that. So it's a big Hot Women Rock. Welcome to Melanie Mackie. Hi, Melanie. How are you?
Hello, Pat. I'm great, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. So I'm going to ask you a lot about being a social stylist because, you know, it's not a term that we're used to hearing, but I really want to know about your journey into entrepreneurship. So where did you start out? What did you do when you left school?
Oh, when I left school, I decided that I wanted to be an air stewardess. Ended up doing a travel and tourism course, but found out that I was too short to become an air stewardess. So I did the travel and tourism, and then I ended up being a holiday rep for several years after I left college, and I did that. So I got kind of like a travel bug really, and spent most of the year living in France until I was about 22, 23. And then came back and got kind of like a proper office job and started working in the corporate world.
So was that in the sort of travel tourism business or something completely different?
No, it was something completely different. I started working then in kind of the broadcast industry. So that was, again, a couple of years of like admin work, doing kind of customer care roles, that sort of thing. So it was always working with people. But yeah, that then I kind of got into marketing as the years passed by, and business development role, and then into social media. So yeah, lots of things evolved from kind of like my first office job.
Yeah. So I mean, you're still so young, but social media is still so young, really. So were you kind of interested in it right from the get-go?
Yeah, I mean, my role, so prior to starting Scarletta, I worked for a recruitment business, and part of my role there was to rebrand the business for a brand new website and introduce social media into the business. And that was kind of my first taste of it. So in the UK, this was kind of around 2007, 2008. There weren't many businesses in the UK using social media for business, and particularly recruitment. So that's kind of how I got my taster of learning how to use social media. And we started using YouTube, for example, to interview our consultants to talk about the job vacancies that we had. And at the time, it was kind of a challenge to really get my head around Twitter and how we were going to use that. And obviously Facebook was there, but it wasn't so much for business. So it was a real kind of baptism of fire to get my head around that and rebrand the business at the same time. But we did it. So it was really exciting time to kind of be a part of and get involved with.
Yeah. And so what was the trigger for you to actually move into starting your own business?
Well, I didn't really have a plan to start my own business. I'd kind of decided that I'd had enough of working in an office and wanted to do something else. And for me, it was about really taking a leap of faith, which I did. So, like I said, I didn't really have a plan or think this is what I'm going to do. And my initial kind of work was with Scarletta's blog. So I created my own blog, started blogging, loved that. And then for my job, it was really kind of around the time of the recession when it really kicked in. It was very stressful at the time. And I just decided that I really wanted to do something else. So I didn't really have anything lined up. I just decided to resign and left my job, and luckily have a very supportive husband who just encouraged me to go for it. But I knew there was something about social media that I loved, and then decided that I was going to try and set up my own business and use social media as much as I could to help me get the business going. So it was a real kind of experiment for me at the time as well, because I didn't really have any budget, didn't really have any plan. I just thought, right, I'm going to try and get my message out there as best I can. That's what I did. So my business kind of grew from there, and it was really an exciting time, like I said, particularly in the UK, because there weren't many people using social media for business. So I was in the right place at the right time, and started really kind of teaching business owners how to create Facebook pages for business, how to tweet. So I used to run a lot of workshops, go into businesses and kind of consult and advise, on the best way for them to get started. So that's really kind of how my business grew from there.
Yeah, and I mean, how many years have I known you now? Is it about 4 years now? Or...
I don't know. I think it must be about 4 years.
Yeah, and I've seen your business evolve, and you've adopted this kind of styling side. So just explain a bit about that and where that's grown from.
Yeah, so the whole social styling thing really was for me as well to be a lot more visible in my business. And what I've seen kind of with the social revolution is that, people want to get to know who we are as business owners. They want to feel that there's a connection there. So it is kind of the whole know, like, trust thing. And for me, the social style part came in that I believe we're all using social media in our own way, the best way that works for us in our businesses to get our messages out there, but also as us as individuals. So, again, I've become very interested in personal branding, but I call it kind of living branding, because a lot of us, again, have evolved. So my business isn't the same as it was kind of 8 years ago, which is what you'd expect, that we're all kind of growing and evolving in life as well as our work. So for me, it's about having a social style and a brand that kind of grows and evolves with us and our expertise and our wisdom and life, as we're kind of growing and evolving as people. So
that's what I've found in most of these interviews, is that, entrepreneurs don't stand still. They're always kind of moving and adjusting and seeing what's happening in the market, seeing what's happening in social media. And so they're never standing still. So this idea of getting this styling so that you've got a living brand, I just think is so important.
Yeah. And I think as well, it's about us being individuals, which we are, again, with our own beliefs, our own values. It's demonstrating that, so that we attract the right sort of people towards us. Not everybody's going to love or like what it is that we do or need what we offer. But it's really crucial, I believe, as well, because now the marketplace online is so noisy that it's very difficult for all businesses to kind of compete and stand out. Whereas if you're really kind of showing who you are and your expertise and your wisdom in your own style, then people have a much better opportunity to get to know you and what you're all about, and also what that experience is about of working with you or reading your material. They really get a flavour of who you are as a person, and that's really kind of where the connections build.
Yeah, I love it. So this is Pat Duckworth talking to Melanie Mackie of Scarletta Media, and we're talking about social styling. So something of what I'm hearing you saying, and I've talked to a few people in the past week about identity and really understanding who we are in our business and our identity. And this is just fitting in so beautifully with that. How do you help people to bring out their identity as business owners?
Yeah, so I do kind of the social styling sessions where I work with clients directly. And what's kind of come from my work as well is that I work or get to know them very well. So often I work with women who do have kind of like a message or a purpose in life that they want to get out there, but they're not kind of sure how. And for me, it's kind of tapping into more of kind of my intuition as well, that I can really see where their gifts are and how to articulate that online. So sometimes they may know what that is, they may know what that purpose is, or sometimes there's some more work to be done, but they need to unravel it a little bit more before we get to what that core message is. But again, that kind of ties in with the social style. Once you've got that sorted, then you can go out and really kind of put that message out there and be who you are. But it takes a lot of work. And again, I've had to do a lot of work on myself as well, coming out of kind of a corporate mindset, in that I've got that freedom of being, my own boss, that I can kind of express myself as I see fit, which again comes back into this kind of living brand and style of me, that you know, you've really got to kind of get a deeper understanding of who you are and your beliefs, like, and your values, like we said before, in order to be able to present that online. So there's a lot of work to kind of be done. It isn't just about showing up on Facebook and Twitter. It's really kind of getting that foundation in place first. And that's where my work is now, is helping clients to achieve that.
How would you describe then your own identity and your own social style? Who's Melanie Mackie?
Oh, that's a really difficult one. I think for me, it's all about kind of being authentic and being very transparent of who I am. It's also, my style is getting more confident. So I'm also being more visible now, speaking like interviews like this. So people are seeing me in front of the camera, whereas it took me a little while to do that as well. But I realised that if I'm teaching that, then obviously I've got to be doing it. Also try and have a little bit of fun with it, you know, and show a bit of my personality. So my style also isn't just about my work, it's about what I love in life as well. So I'm very much into my garden and flowers. So anybody who knows me will know that's part of me as well. So it's really kind of tapping into everything about me, little snippets so people get to know me as a person and not just about my business and just one side of me. You know, it's like I said, it's a whole living brand that I'm kind of hopefully demonstrating, so people feel they do get to know the real me.
Yeah, I just feel that is so important. So if you had one tip for a new entrepreneur or someone who's kind of changing what they're doing in their midlife, although you're much younger than your midlife, because you're going to live to be 100, so what would your tip be?
I think for me, it is to work through the fear. And, you know, if you've got this kind of desire that you really want to do something with your life, I believe now is a brilliant time for women of all ages, doesn't matter what age you are, that if you've got that pull, that real kind of strong urge to do something and transform your life and have that kind of gift or that knowledge that you know you can help share with others, now is a brilliant time to do it. And the great thing is, when you take that step, you know, you find your way, you'll find people that will support you along the way. Like you talked about our mastermind group, you know, we're all very different women with very different businesses, but it's that encouragement as well. You know, get a tribe around you that are really going to keep you going, you know, not just in the good times, but also support you through the ups and downs as well, because that's crucial, that support network, I think, as well. But yeah, my one tip is, you know, if you've got that urge, then just go for it. You've got absolutely nothing to lose. And again, with the internet, you've got everything there. You know, you can reach people globally now. So for me, it's still a really exciting time for all of us, regardless of where you are in the world, that you've got this tool to help you get yourself out there.
Yeah, fantastic. So, and I love that you describe these businesses as petite businesses rather than solopreneurs, because in another conversation I had, somebody said to me, don't say solopreneur, because that suggests that you're all on your own.
Yeah.
And you're never all on your own. There's always some people who are supporting you, perhaps doing bits for you. And if you keep telling your brain you're a solopreneur, it's going to get a bit lonely.
Yeah, it is. And I think for me, the word petite as well, I don't really like the word small.
Yeah.
But also, like I said at the beginning, I spent a lot of time in France, and I've, you know, lived in France. It's kind of like my second home, if you like. But also for my business and my own living brand, there's a lot of kind of French stuff going on there too. So it kind of tied in with that again, and it's just kind of evolved. But yeah, the petite thing is definitely a word I prefer over small, because we're also not small. We may be kind of, like you said, solopreneurs on our own in some ways.
Yeah.
We are powerful and have a great opportunity to make a huge impact on the world. So I think that's really kind of key as well.
Good things come in petite packages.
They do. Yeah, I didn't make it as an air stewardess because I'm only 5'1". You know, I can be a social stylist.
Fantastic. So Melanie, if people watching want to find out more about you and what you offer, what can they do?
Okay, so I work on a one-to-one, and you can find out more about working with me through the Scarletta website, which is scarlettamedia.com, or I offer Facebook Live sessions, social sessions in a Facebook group, and that's open to female entrepreneurs and petite business owners as well. So if you want to kind of get some answers to any kind of social media or online queries that you've got, you can come over and join us, and I hopefully answer them and give you kind of some tips and guidance. And also you can make some great connections in there as well with other female entrepreneurs and petite business owners.
Fantastic. So that link will be on this video, and just to say, those sessions are brilliant. You can learn so much from them. So hop over to that Facebook page and sign up to be part of those sessions. Thank you so much for your time today, Melanie. It's been great talking to you. And to all our viewers, thank you for joining us, and keep watching for the next session where we'll be talking to yet another wonderful entrepreneur. See you again soon.